Okay, ladies and gentlemen, intro time is over. Hello. Your answers should be checked. Speaking of peace through strength, not to get too far into history or politics, but peace through strength. So if you're concerned at all about the events of yesterday or the last week in the world, peace through strength. That's the phrase to keep in mind. Peace through strength. That makes sense in your brain? So, no, don't be worried. Do not fret or be afraid. Peace can be achieved through strength. As it was when the great Ronald Reagan led the defeat of the old communist Russia, Soviet Union, during the Cold War. The new evil in the world, the terrorists, can be defeated with strength. And peace will be achieved, not World War. Don't be going to bed tonight thinking, the world's going to end in World War III. No. Because peace is going to be achieved through strength. All right, here we go. This is the 8th of January. It's the year 2020. And you are growing physically and hopefully spiritually and mathematically. And you might not feel like you're growing because it's a struggle. But remember, without the struggle, there is no growth. You guys don't remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Without the struggle, there is no growth. So, just know on the other end of this, you're going to be better for it. Wouldn't it be nice if you came to school every day, Friedel, and math class was like 2 + 4 and 7? You think that would be nice, wouldn't you? No, that would be awful. I would hope that at least half of you tweens or teens, is everybody a teenager now?
No.
I would hope that at least half of you young adults, really, if you were not around all your friends, and you honestly answered, like, you would realize that you really wouldn't want to come to school and have it be that easy. What would be the point? Hopefully, and really honest recesses in there somewhere, Dominic. That's a lie too. That you know that ultimately it's good for you.
What is?
The struggle.
English. Wait, that is Arnold.
We need recess.
That's not where I got it. I got it from a movie. Okay, shh. Cut. I got it from a movie. I just spit. Yeah. I got it from a movie about apartheid. You know what that is? South Africa. Okay, anyway. That's where I got that quote from. Without the struggle, there is no growth. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to be able to go through all 14 of these, so I'm going to pick a couple. If you already, I can't even take requests. I'm going to do a couple of them because we've got to keep the train moving. And hopefully by doing those couple, it'll help you figure out the other ones. Because if I sat here and did all 14, we wouldn't even get done with today's lesson to move on to or done with that to do today's lesson. All right, I'm going to do, let's see. I'm going to do 14 first.
I've been so long doing all this. It's been a long time.
Well, hopefully the more you do it, the quicker it goes. Here we go. 14, 3/10 minus W. 4/5 minus. Okay, listen fast. I have W's on both sides of the equal sign. I need to combine like terms. I'm going to combine my two constants, these fractions, and I'm going to combine these two W terms. I've got to make a decision. Do I want my W's on the left or on the right? It doesn't matter which way you go, but you got to pick one. You can't have W's on both sides. So, me, since this is one W, and this is less than 1, and they're both negative, I'd rather my W be positive, so I'm gonna choose to put my W on the right. Here's how that's gonna look. I'm gonna add 1W to this side, which means I have to add 1W to that side. Well, what's negative 3/5 plus 1? Find the difference between 1 and 3/5. The difference is 2/5, and it's going to be positive. So over here now I have 4/5 plus 2/5 W. And over here I still have 3/10. Okay, I added positive 1 W to both sides. Do you see how it eliminates the W over here? Negative 1 plus 1 is 0 W's. I only have 3/10. I added 1, Noah. Positive 1.
Yeah, but why is
Positive 1. What's the difference between 1 and 3/5?
2/5?
Okay, which one's greater? 3/5 or 1?
1.
So I'm going to use the sign of the larger,
Yeah,
the positive 1.
I'm saying, like, why did you switch it from subtraction to addition?
No, I changed it from negative to positive.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Right? This was negative 3/5 W.
Yeah.
And now it's positive 2/5 W because I added 1. You sure?
Yeah.
Does everybody hear the question?
Yeah.
Because that could be that's probably a confusing point for a lot of you that he just mentioned. He said, why did I change it from subtraction to addition? I didn't. I changed it from negative to positive because positive 1 and negative 3/5 is positive 2/5. Does that fix something for a lot of you? Okay. So now I got to combine my 4/5 and my 3/10. So I'm going to subtract 4/5 from both sides. So I'm left over here with 2/5 W. What's 3/10 minus 4/5? The signs are different, so I'm going to find the difference between 3/10 and 4/5 is 5/10. Did anybody do that?
Yeah.
Are you following me? Because 4/5 is 8/10. And which one's larger? So I'm going to be negative 1/2. Negative 5/10. Look, 3/10. Signs are different. Find the difference. 3/10 minus, or 8/10 minus 3/10 is 5/10. Where did I get this 8/10? 4/5 is the same as 8/10. You follow that? So when I combine these two numbers, remember when you're adding in algebra, if the signs are different, so I'm finding the difference between these two. And which one's larger, 8/10 or 3/10? The 8/10. It was the negative. So the answer is negative 5/10, negative 1/2.
So, you have negative 4/5, right? So you change it to 8/10. Why does that become positive?
Well, it doesn't become positive. I'm finding the difference. So in the end, I made it negative.
All right, yeah.
Because signs are different. Find the difference, and then use the sign of larger absolute value. 4/5 is larger than 3/10, so I put the negative on there at the end. And negative 5/10 is negative 1/2. Yes.
How come you didn't convert it like we did
I'm not even there yet.
Okay.
I could have done that, true. Yeah, I could have multiplied everything by 10 first. In fact, I dove right into this. I should have multiplied everything by 10 first. Because now I got to multiply everything by, or I could multiply everything by 10. Okay?
Oh,
Because the least common
okay. Okay.
multiple. Yes.
to figure out what W is?
I am. Because now I gotta get rid of this 2/5, right? So, to get rid of the 2/5, since I started doing it this way, I'm gonna finish doing it this way. I would divide by,
Divide. What do you multiply?
no, 2/5 times W, I gotta get rid of the 2/5. So I gotta do the opposite of what they've done. They've got W times 2/5, so I gotta do divide by 2/5. What's that look like? -1/2 times 5/2. Do you get that? Because when you divide fractions, you actually multiply by the reciprocal. So this is -5/4, which is -1 1/4. That's how we got -1 1/4 for W.
Alright, that makes sense.
Now, I could have avoided all that fraction work by doing this at the beginning. Let's multiply everything by 10. Jordan, you weren't here yesterday, were you? Let's multiply everything by 10, Jordan, and we won't have to deal with fractions. Ready? If I multiply everything by 10, I'm going to get 3 minus 10W equals 8 minus 6W. Now that looks way easier to work with than all this fraction stuff. This is what you all did, right? Watch what answer I get. What answer do you think I'm going to get at the end?
-1 1/4.
Well, I better get -1 1/4. I have to. Math. It's like, it's got definite answers. It's the language of science. It's got to be factual and true. So now that I've got all whole numbers, I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to bring my negative 10W over here and make it positive. Add 10W. I got 3 over here. 8 plus 4W. Okay? Added 10W to both sides. Now I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides.
How did you get?
Hold on, I'll stop in a second.
Yeah. What did you get?
That's
easier.
Why did you make us go through that?
Okay, listen, because, okay, so what did we prove? Is this a lot easier when you multiply everything by the lowest common multiple?
Yeah.
You thought working with fractions is easier?
No, it's not.
So now I've got all whole numbers, nice and easy to work with.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What?
I don't.
Listen up.
You get 3 and 10W.
Okay, listen. If I multiply 10 times 3/10, three over 1. Multiply this. Now, Jordan, in order to clear everything of fractions, I got to multiply everything in the equation by the same number. That way I stay true and balanced and equal. So I got to multiply this by 10, negative 10W. I got to multiply, Noah, I got to multiply 4/5 by 10. And that's how I got 8. Because 10 times 4/5 is 40/5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 10 times 3/5 is 30/5. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Wake up, Zacchaeus.
Oh, wait.
Everybody got it? Seriously, ask. This is how everybody did it, right?
Yeah, I did it that way, but I got the wrong answer.
Okay, 17.
Did you ever start the video?
Yeah,
What's up, guys?
17.
That's all Laura's worried about.
We have to have all the intro.
Last day of school.
Okay, 17, you had to do 2 things. They wanted you to estimate first, to round it off, then do the actual problem, And that's why up here I had 1 is approximately 1.0097. You understood the equal sign with a little squiggly on top? Means approximately, about, right? Estimate. So
What number?
we found out that 17. So we found out that when we estimated, we got almost the same answer as when we did the whole thing. And sometimes it's okay to estimate. All right, here we go. 6.95 minus 2.13. Okay. 3.07, did I write that right? All right, I've got 2 decimal places here, Noel. I got 2 decimal places here, and I got 1 decimal place there, and 2 decimal places there. Tell Dina what I should multiply everything by to get rid of my decimals.
You should multiply it by. Thanks, Noel.
Okay, I would not multiply everything by 10 because that would just make this 69.5. I would still have a decimal. I wouldn't multiply by 10 because I'd still have a decimal. So if I multiply everything by 100, Noah, that moves the decimal point 2 places in everything. 695x minus 213 equals 180x plus 307. Then I've got all whole numbers. I like those better than fractions. I'm going to add 213 to both sides. So I got 695x equals 180x plus 520. I'll stop there. I added 213 and 213. I got to subtract 180x from both sides. 515x equals 520. I'll stop there. Raise your hand. I'm skipping steps. I'm not writing what I'm doing. I need you to see what I'm doing though. How did I get from here to here? I added 213, eliminated it here, added 213, got 520. You with me, David? How did I get from here to here? I subtracted 180x, got rid of it, subtracted 180, 515. How am I going to get rid of the 515? I'm going to divide by 515, get rid of it, divide by 515, 520 over 515, and that's how they came up with 1.0097. That's the actual problem. When you estimate, if you go up to the original, you would estimate 7 minus 2 equals 2x plus 3, right? And when you do that, what answer do you get? 1. And they're very close to each other. So estimation made sense. Because when you estimated this as 7 and 2 and 2x and 5, it came out to be exactly 1. Yes?
Where is squiggly?
When I had the answers on the board.
Oh.
For number 17, when you checked the answers on the board, it said
Oh, I thought you meant in the
1 is approximately 1.0097. When I had the answers up there. So.
Why did you say 3.07?
Shh, please stop all the chatter. What?
You just said 3.07 divided to 5. You said it's 2 and 5.
Oh, 3, sorry.
Oh.
If I said that, I'm very sorry. All right. Did everybody understand how you arrived, how I got the answers on 18? 18, the answers were 4,000 square feet, so you got 1,600 square feet left. Anybody need that explained? Okay, we got to move on, people, because now,
Wait, can we do 22 though?
you know what? You're going to get more practice right now. Review quiz 1, page 287. Only 8 items. You got 22 minutes.
22?
got 9 minutes?
Yeah, it's 10:34.
I'm sorry.
What? You're sorry.
Go.
What numbers?
Yeah, why do I keep going? What?
Yeah. I don't have they are.
Review plus one.
Mr. Frank, all of this paper is you. That's ridiculous. Maybe you're all in favor. I'm really proud to get out. And we haven't even used our graphics.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I will do number 5 on the board because that's what seems to be the hang up.
Okay, so.
1 should not be a hang up.
Okay, so. And then
Review quiz 1. There's 8. That's what numbers.
there's 8. I know. Oh my god, their number. He literally just counted all of their numbers. It's gonna be terrible.
So, Jordan, Dina, should I work with all of these decimals, or should I, before I even start, get rid of the decimals, let's just work with whole numbers? Okay, what am I going to multiply by, Dina? Well, if I do that, Dina, listen. Okay, but you understand, if I only multiplied by 10, I'd still have a decimal here, right? So I'm going to multiply everything by 100, Noah. Watch this. Times 100, 2720 M. Times 100, 1570. You with me? Times 100, 8594. Negative that is. Times 100, 80 M. That's our new problem. Now we combine M terms. 2720, 80. I'm going to choose to put my M's on the left. Because if I subtract 80 M from both sides, it's gone over there. And it's going to stay positive over here. And then I'm going to move my 1570, get rid of that, 2640 M equals 7,024. Subtract, or divide both sides by 2640. Of course, you could reduce these numbers before you divide if you want.
Maybe that would be easier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
This is, whoa. That, hold on, that messes things up. It's negative.
Okay. It just makes everything.
What did you multiply all the No, never mind.
Hold on.
She basically should
Okay. Oh, that would be helpful.
See what I did, Kara? I forgot to keep that together. So when I subtract 1570, Jaden, what do you estimate 2640 into 1164? Remember the KISS method?
Keep it simple, silly.
Keep it simple, silly. So, mwah, ready? Since there's a 6 next to the 2, I'm going to think in my mind's eye that this is a 3. How many times does 3 go into 11? That's what I'm thinking. So my first try is going to be 3. It doesn't work? 2640 times 3 should work.
swallow a Lego.
Wait, how does that?
What?
You said it's negative.
What?
He's not getting
But that is,
Whoa, what did I just do?
I don't know, I'm really confused. What are you doing?
Me and
it's so much bigger.
I don't understand.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not even gonna watch
That's not even funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at it.
There's 2 things going on here, Lauren. One is, one little mistake that Mr. Franken made way back up here where he forgot to put the negative sign here. That led to another mistake, which made the number too small here. The other big thing that's going on is there's only 2 kids that caught it.
That is big.
Yeah.
I wanted to say.
Good job.
Hey, I got one.
We have Aaron.
No, I got that one.
We have kids. Maybe we were right about
No, they brought
and then
their
it would be like, what time? Wait, when do we get out?
It's still wrong.
What is going on?
10:43?
I
This should be
don't
4.
Yeah. I'll try 4.
Yeah, because I got a bigger number here.
We have 2 minutes. Mr. Grant!
Yeah.
Can you take some of the homework off?
No, there's only 8 problems.
We don't want to do.
Why do we have
If only
the X in the 5 or like that in parentheses?
Or you're getting 11
No, that's still not right.
Mr. Franken, you have the answer, Neil.
Just look at the answer.
I have to figure it out.
Epic fail.
Oh wait, wait. Is it 10,000 now?
That mistake led to an avalanche.
Oh, it's a negative? I am lost. I was working on the rest of them. I just skipped over.
One little mistake led to an avalanche of misery.
Can I have this free pencil? No,
Here's the pencil. Yes, what time is it? It's 10:47. You're trying to kill me, Steven.
I was.
I got my new seat.
Let's bring them. Okay. Why are you putting those people so close? Like they're literally facing each other. Like you put away.
Oh, dang. Oh, I know. I barely have any.
I'm crazy.
Look at how ridiculous space I get.